Good day, Amherstburg. It's myself, Laura D'Alessandro.
And it's Ron Giofu from the Rivertown Times, back here on the airwaves of CKBG 107.9 The Berg for the RTT's Week in Review.
2025, here we are again. We just stay in a Terrence, feel like we never left.
Exactly, yeah. We were just here a couple weeks ago. We took a bit of a shutdown and back on the airwaves, first time in 2025. And I think we're going to pick up where we left off.
Kicking off the new year, our first issue of 2025 is the Year in Review. And I kind of want to know the backstory, Ron, of what it takes for you to get this together. I know every year you set goals for yourself to not fall behind and to work on it every month. And I don't know if that's what you do.
Unfortunately, it's not what I do. It's what I should do, but it's not what I do. I kind of compile the good, the bad, and the ugly from the year and put it all together in one big file. And that's what I did here. And it's... several stages this year, more so than it's usual, it seems. Like I should do it at the end of every month or at the start of the next month. I should, compile it, do a month, and then, just do a month at a time. But, I say to myself, every year I'm going to do that, and every year I don't. So by middle of November, I'm going, I got to do the year in review. So I get started on it, and I pick away at it, and finally over the holidays, I got it done. And, it takes me... a long time to get it done. It's just, fitting it in between the other stuff I do. But I finally got it done. Then I took the original file, I edited it down. Then I took the second file, edited that file down. Just because putting the paper together is a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. Sometimes you got to fit everything in and piece it together. And then you got to work with the ads and make sure there's enough space. And this year, because we had the 2 weeks off, I want to get some other stories in the paper rather than just make it 100% year in review. So I put the paper together and had room for a few other stories this week, which I'm glad about. And so if you're on the web and you're reading rivertowntimes.com and you see something that may or may not have been in the print edition, that's why, because we don't have such space limitations on the web the same as we do as in the paper. So if there's a bit of a difference between the website and the print edition, it's because it's a little bit more of a balancing act, a bit more of a juggling act to get everything into the print edition. So that's basically the backstory behind it. And in 2025, I swear, well, maybe I shouldn't swear, but I will at least make a better effort to get on the year in review a bit sooner in the year, hopefully at the end of every month. That way I'm not in a frenzy at year's end going, I got to get the year in review done, and I'm only in August.
So I think what we're going to do, and you heard it here first on CKBG, that in June, I'm going to check in with you. And if you haven't written that first 6 months of the year, what should be the consequence? You have to babysit my children for the weekend.
Okay, I'll make sure I'll get on it then.
That's a motivator right there.
Exactly, yeah. Your children, while delightful, I'm sure they'd kind of probably, take a few liberties with good old Uncle Ron.
I think so too. I think the prisoners would be running the jail if that was the case, that Uncle Ron came to babysit for 2 days. So like we said, it's the week in review. We won't dive too much into it. Oh, go ahead. What are you going to say?
I was going to say it's the year in review.
What did I say?
Your week in review.
The week in review. Why do I keep saying that?
This is the RTT's week in review.
This is the week in review. The paper is a year in review. So we won't dive too much into that. You can take a glance at that. Obviously, with the stories go some great photos. So it's also nice to look back on the year and see the pictures that Ron took and all the different things that went on here in town. So be sure to grab that copy. But Ron did say, he was able to fit in some things that maybe didn't make it in before Christmas or happened during our break. So one of the things we wanted to highlight on was the Mission held their Christmas dinner. You and I were over at the Mission on Christmas Day. It's always fun to go there and join in the fellowship there and see the great spread that Tim puts on. I don't know how he does it. He's up at all hours of the night on Christmas Eve, getting the turkeys in the oven, mashing the potatoes. They served, over 120 people this year?
They did, yeah. And I know they start days in advance to get the meal ready, get the mission ready, get the table set. And in addition to getting the actual food cooked, they have a whole team of volunteers. Some of them are in the paper this week, and but the ones you don't, there's many more. There's folks that, like I say, set the tables, clear the tables, do the dishes. They got a whole team of volunteers helping Tim out at the Mission, And that includes members of the McAllister family. Obviously, Tim's wife, Violet's a key component of the mission, and as are many others. And I know Tim's son, Winston, was in the kitchen this year when I was taking pictures, and the vice president, Zana Brockett, was there. And check out the picture in the paper, because I know I'm missing some folks, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to stop naming names and just say, give a blanket thank you and great job to all the volunteers at the mission. I know everyone there had a great time, and it was just, I know Monique Belanger, she's a local musician. She was on hand this year. She volunteered her time to play some songs of the season, and it was a festive time on Christmas Day at the Amherstburg Food and Fellowship Mission.
Yeah, the music was a nice touch. It was definitely, it put you in the Christmas spirit to be there and sharing that food and fellowship with folks. Big birthday you got to go to on Sunday, a birthday party for a former Amherstburg resident. Kathleen K. Bertrand turned 100 years old.
Yeah, it was a great party. She lived most of her life in Amherstburg. She lives in a retirement home in Kingsville now. But she's well known in Amherstburg. She grew up most of her life here, and actually she's the second person who turned 100 in her family. Her father, Walter Bevington, also turned 100. That was back in 1990. In fact, we have a picture of Kay with her dad. That was a family photo that was shared with us. And we have a modern day photo, and she was honored by not only her family and her friends. Mayor Michael Prue was there. Essex MPP Anthony Liardi recognized her and honored her. And Essex MP Chris Lewis was also on hand to not only give her a plaque, but also a King's Coronation Medal. So that was great to see. Chris was busy on Sunday. He went from there to his New Year's levee out back at his constituency office in Essex. We have a story on that as well. Fred Groves did a story in this week's RTT. So make sure you check that out as well. So we got stories on Kay Bertrand's 100th birthday, which was actually on Monday, born January 6th, 1925. And obviously 2025 is the big 100 mark. And of course, we also have Chris Lewis's levee. He was, like I say, a busy man on Sunday, and all in this week's RTT and on our website.
Just 48 more quick years and you'll be 100 years old.
Well, I don't know how quick they'll be. They'll probably, I shouldn't say that, because this past year went by quick, so.
I can't even imagine 48 years from now. We'll still be doing this, and Terrence will still be here, so.
Exactly, yeah.
Something to look forward to, Amherstburg.
Exactly, yeah.
Over the Christmas break, we were happy hosts here in Amherstburg of the Hockey for Hospice tournament. The tournament brought in over $530,000, and I know you were at games, not just here in town, but also at the Vollmer Center.
Yeah, it was Amherstburg, LaSalle, Tecumseh, and Essex hosted games. Like you say, I was at some games here in Amherstburg. Most of the game actually I saw was in Amherstburg. I did check out a U15 game in LaSalle. You may or may not have known one of the players, but I saw all of the players play, and everyone did a great job. It was Amherstburg U15 against Tecumseh U15. Amherstburg won that game on their way to a silver medal in the U15 division, so great job to all the players. From Amherstburg and all the players in the tournament overall. I believe there were 2,000 players. I believe about 115 teams, and all raising money for hospice. So that's the main thing. They're having fun and raising money for the hospice of Windsor-Essex County. Money stays local, and Tim Beaulieu and his family, and the whole organizing committee, and everyone does a great job, and they've been doing it year after year after year. So and they keep doing it. So marvelous dedication. So great job. And like I say, over 530,000 raised this year, and all stays local, all goes to hospice, and wonderful job by everyone involved.
Yeah, this year's hospice tournament was a bit bittersweet for us. Luca has aged out, so he will not be playing in any more hospice tournaments, but he played 5 games in 3 days, and they all battled hard. But one of the things I love about this tournament is at the end, when they have their medal ceremonies, they give a debrief about what hospice is, and, they ask people if you've been impacted by hospice in some form to raise your hand. And there wasn't many people there that had their hand down. I think everybody in our community in one shape or another has been impacted by hospice and the care that they give. So to come together for that tournament was amazing. And like Ron said, to the volunteers and the organizers, what a tremendous job that you do. And we'll miss it next year over the Christmas holidays. I don't know what I'll do with all my time. I think I was in 3 different arenas in 2 days. I was everywhere with Luca.
You can bring your cowbell and travel out to various ranks and still cheer people on. You may not know them, but...
maybe ask to leave, but That's
Exactly, yeah.
Turning our attention now to sports, the Admirals had two big wins to kick off 2025 over the weekend. They had a buzzer beater here at home against Wheatley and another 4-1 win here at home on Sunday night against the Moortown Flags. Unfortunately, that streak of wins in 2025 came to an end last night when they fell 9-0 to the Essex 73s.
Yeah, Essex is a tough team, so they win most of their games, maybe not 9-0, but I'm sure the Admirals will put that behind them. They had, like you say, had a great weekend with home games against Wheatley and Moortown, and this weekend they got a couple home games. They got Blenheim coming in this Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. So make sure you head down to the Libro Center for that game. That's at 7:30 p.m. And they're right back in action Sunday night against another tough opponent. The Lakeshore Canadians will be coming into town, and that's a 6:30 start here in Amherstburg. And I'm sure the Canadians will be trying to exact a bit of revenge. Amherstburg picked up a big win in late December in Lakeshore, and I'm sure the Canadians haven't forgot that. So should be a good game on Sunday night, Canadians and Admirals. But again, it's Blenheim Saturday, Lakeshore Sunday, 7:30 Saturday, 6:30 Sunday.
The school year's just finally kicked back off for 2025, but the girls' volleyball took to the court last night with a win last night against Villanova.
They did. They went into the Christmas break with a win, and they came out of the Christmas break with a win. They won 2-1 against the Wildcats in what was a very closely contested match. Amherstburg won the first set. It looked like they were on their way to winning the second set. They were in command, I believe, about 7 or 8 points that were up in the middle of the second set. Then, as head coach Jeff Miller put it, we had a bad 5 minutes. Villanova was able to seize momentum and turned it right around and ended up winning the second set 25-23, but the Wolves turned it around and took command in the third set and won the match 2-1. So they won the first and third sets while Villanova took the second. And great job by both teams. Both teams played well. North Star back in action on Thursday night. They got a really tough road game. They're playing Holy Names, and right now Holy Names is atop the Tier 1 division in Wexa. So the Wolves, who have a young team this year, they got their work cut out for them, but I'm sure they'll give it their all, then it'll be up for the task.
Well, that kind of recaps the paper for this week. We do have a call out for Babies of the Year. We had done this in the past with the Rivertown Times, kind of put it on pause, but we're looking to bring that back. So that will be for our 28th issue, is it, Ron?
I believe the 29th.
29th, yes. So the deadline for that's the 22nd. So if you know of somebody or you welcomed your own little bundle of joy in 2024, we'd be happy to share that with everybody. So you can get more information from us at call the office, 519-736-4175, or you can email me, sales@rivertowntimes.com, and we'd be happy to get that in for that issue.
Yeah, it costs us $30 plus HST, and you don't need to provide a whole lot of information, just the baby's name, baby's weight, date of birth, and parents' names. And if you want to add in the grandparents, you want to add in siblings, that's welcome too. But again, have your photo and your small write-up in by the 22nd, and will be published on the 29th. We're looking forward to see all the cute little babies in our paper.
Yeah, for sure. I know next week you had put the call out earlier looking for community groups to come together. Are you still looking for some of that, or is it pretty full?
I've got a lot of community groups that have handed in some write-ups and handed in some photos. Those community groups include nonprofits and churches. And so we've got a lot have already submitted, so thank you to those of you who have submitted. And there's still a few out there who want to get your write-ups and get your photos in. We're looking for about anywhere from, I think it's about 350 to 450 words in that range. And with a photo or two for our consideration, we'll get it in for an upcoming issue. We'll start running them next week and then possibly spill over into the following week or two. I haven't really set a firm date as to when I'll get them all in. I don't want to overload everyone. I want to kind of it's that balancing act I spoke about earlier. So I'll start getting them in next week, and thank you to all who've started to submit. And if there's any more, please have your stuff in. We'll extend it until the end of the week. If you have your stuff in by Friday, that'd be great. Friday at 4. We'll do one more week.
And also we always run community events, although this week it's not in the paper. I think this is the first time in a long time we haven't had community events in the paper. It is online. But if you have a community event that you'd like us to share, be sure to get that to Ron or myself. Speaking of community events, Friday Night Live is coming up next Friday at St. Andrew's Church at 7 p.m. Also, next weekend, the Marsh Collection is hosting another trivia night. This month's theme is going to be pop culture. It'll be January the 19th at Shooters at 7. The cost is $20 for a team of 4. If you'd like more information, be sure to call the Marsh Collection 736-9191, or you can email research@themarshcollection.org. And then looking to February, Saturday, February the 1st, Briarswood Youth Camp is going to be hosting a rib or chicken dinner out at the KSC at River Canard. Tickets are $35, and you can get more information on their website at briarswood.com.
And Briarswood recently did do a great job at an online fundraiser. We'll get more information in an upcoming issue. They had a $10,000 goal, and they smashed past that. They really did well. Thanks to some donors, and so again, more information on that coming up. Check the website in the coming days and weeks, www.rivertowntimes.com, and obviously the print edition is back today, so pick up your copy. We're going to pick up where we left off, and we're going to get some stuff that hasn't been in the paper yet from a little before Christmas. We'll get that in there as well, so lots of stuff happening, and we'll get caught up, and we'll get the new stuff in too, so we'll take care of you news-wise, we'll take care of you ad-wise, and make sure you get your Rivertown Times.
That's right. All right, Amherstburg, Happy New Year and have a great day.
Happy New Year, and we're back. Our new replay time is at 4:30 p.m., so make sure you can check that out, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Happy New Year.